Hello, beautiful humans. Good morning, buongiorno, buenos dias, bon matin. I'm pretty sure hello cat, all of my accents there are not exactly bad, but more like non-existent, because I'm told that my American accent is in fact rather heavy. But that is irrelevant to the topic at hand, which is food and eating and disorders and recovery. The cat is just circling the chair that this is sitting on, so waiting for the tail. It's happening. Kitty cat. Boom, there we go. So I had a whole different topic to discuss today, and I might still get to it. I don't know. But I had a revelation. And it is flipping mind-blowing. Hey, cat. Did you know that people don't just walk around hungry? What the fuck? No, I genuinely assumed that, that was the base state of humanity. I didn't just assume it was me. I thought that was just normal. I have been worried about my husband because he eats, a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast. And, that's, after I just eat a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast, I'm still really hungry. Oh, no, honey, what are you doing? I'm still really hungry. So I just assumed that, he was walking around hungry too, and it's been very worrying, and I've been wondering, should I shove extra sandwiches in his lunch? But I genuinely, came into the room and asked him this morning, are you still hungry after breakfast? He was very confused by the question. He's very confused. Partly because he's not necessarily a representative sample, because stress suppresses his appetite and he works way too much. So it's just gonna keep happening. And so he eats because he knows he should. He eats breakfast because he knows he should. He's not, actually hungry going into breakfast, but, he's not wandering around hungry. When he's hungry, he just eats things. And he's not the only one. I genuinely thought, I'm really into feeding people. I love feeding people. Feeding people is my favorite thing. Partly because, it occurs to me, I just thought they were hungry all the time. And I was like, no, I love you. Don't be hungry. And I tried to feed them. They were not. Hi, honey. Am I not paying attention to you? Am I talking to the camera? Sort of thing. Unacceptable. Who's the kitty? Unacceptable. Yet. Who's the kitty? You are. I just thought people were walking around hungry, so I tried to feed them. I've been very sad because I don't want people to be hungry. And when I thought, I have all these books about, the French diet and stuff, and how French people eat, and how they can eat all the, cheese and steak and all that fun shit, and still be super thin. Who's a kitty? Oh my God, I know. I'm paying attention. I swear to God. I am. Are you hungry? That would be ironic. And the books all say, oh, well, they eat what they want, but in very small portions. And I thought there was an entire fucking country of people wandering around hungry. Apparently, this is not the case. What the shit? Apparently, there's not an entire... Well, okay, we're talking about people who baseline have enough food, who are, not choosing to be hungry because that's what they're supposed to be doing. Did you know this? What the fuck? Who's the part? I didn't. This is new fucking information for me. What the shit? Other people aren't wandering around hungry. When other people are hungry, they eat, so they're not wandering around hungry. They're not at work or at school, having their hunger eat itself. Which is actually what a term I coined in high school when it got to 10:30 and I hadn't eaten in 4.5 hours. And that was, in fact, a bowl of oatmeal and I was ravenous, but it wasn't lunchtime yet. So I wonder if that's anything to do with my thing about times you can eat. I don't know. But I would get so hungry and then the hunger would go away, and I called it the hunger eating itself. Did you know that that's not, like, people are supposed to do that? Other people don't do that? Okay, this is paradigm shifting for me. There are so many fucking paradigm shifting. I don't understand. But that is the shockingest thing that I've learned since I learned that I was supposed to eat when I'm hungry, is that other people eat when they're hungry. I cannot describe how what? Well, I mean, obviously you can see how flabbergasted I am. I love that word. Because I am having some difficulties processing this, my dudes. Like, what? You know, in, what was it? A Beautiful Mind, when you see all the numbers and the equations, like, go across the air and figuring it out. That's what's happening to me right now, when you're just, like, watching the equations go across the air and you're going, what is this wizardry? What? Anyway, so that is my profoundly shocking to me revelation of the day, is that my assumptions about how the world worked outside of me eating, but the rest of the world, my assumptions there were, like, completely wrong. Completely wrong. Like, other people eat when they're hungry, and so they're not hungry all the time, so other people aren't walking around hungry. I just thought everybody was walking around hungry. I wondered how they could. It kind of made me a very bit sad, and then I was like, how? I didn't totally understand how they could do it, and then when I was reading all my diet books, I am going into that on another video, my dudes, because the whole thing. I was reading all my diet books, and they're like, yes, no, you just decrease the portions, whatever you're eating. I nearly fucking cried, and I was like, how are other people doing this? Because if they're already really hungry, and they just decrease the portion sizes, then how are they going to, like, they're going to be even hungrier? How do they function? I'm supposed to do that. Weeping. Internally, sometimes externally, but, like, I didn't know that. Okay, this is something I figured out. A lot of the diet recommendations and a lot of the diet books and a lot of the, like, you're supposed to do this, and don't eat after 10 p.m. That is aimed and written for people, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong here. Who already have a healthy relationship with food. So, like, the intermittent fasting books, I have like 3, are not written for people who already have an eating disorder. Okay, which means that most of what I've been reading for the past 2 fucking years has been not supposed to be for me, and I should not be applying it to my life. I learned. Multiple years later. Oops. But, you know, I'm learning it now. And this is extremely helpful for my life going forward, because I'm in, like, the first third of my life. I'm 32. And so I have another 2/3 of life that I can, like, do healthy shit in. So it's good to be learning this now. However, like, I need to take a day to recover, to process this information, because the foundations of my world have shaken once more. Because, I mean, you saw how, like, what? I don't understand. When I was like, I'm supposed to eat when I'm hungry. Like, you're supposed to eat when you're hungry. And then I find out that everybody's walking around eating when they're hungry. And so they're not hungry all the time. What the fuck? My understanding of how humanity functions has changed drastically since last night. Because I had this thought last night, and then I asked Matthew about it this morning, and he was, again, very confused by the question. Like, he didn't totally understand. We were coming off some different assumptions. He was like, I don't get hungry. Like, I go to 2 p.m. without remembering to eat because I just don't get hungry. And also, if I'm hungry or nibblish, I immediately eat something, so I'm not hungry. And I'm over here coming from the assumption of, you're baseline hungry. But he's not. And, like, you might not be. A number of you, most of you might not be. What the living fuck? Okay, well, that has been 11 minutes of me just going, what the living fuck, about something that I'm pretty sure is really obvious to the rest of the world, but bear with me here. So I'm going to put what I was going to talk about today on ice and keep it for my next video, unless I have like another earth-shattering revelation, because apparently there were many incorrect assumptions I made my entire life, just how people do. Is the sky actually purple? I don't know. And don't talk to me about like electromagnetic radiation and different wavelengths and what colors actually are, because if the sky is actually purple, I cannot handle it right now. Just let me have my blue. Just let me have it. Anyway, have a wonderful, glorious day, my beautiful humans. Yay, the cat went somewhere else. I love you. Go out and eat. Go out and don't be hungry, which apparently you do anyway. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy that like the people I love aren't walking around hungry, because I totally thought they were, and it made me sad. So, have a wonderful day. I love you much. I will see you next time.